Public speaking for beginner. Now, let me define beginner. A lot of times people shy away from that word because maybe they've been speaking for a while, or maybe they've given some speeches, whether it's for work or on stage, and they think, I'm not a beginner, I'm past that. I will tell you, even as a professional speaker, I consider myself a beginner because there are always people that I learn from, there are always people that I can study from, and there's always ways that I can grow. So I consider myself a beginner as well. So as I teach these tips, I have to remember that I need to use these things in my life as well when I speak. So today you're going to get 4 tips on how to become more proficient as a speaker. And if you're just getting started out, definitely use these things to help you to improve. The first thing I do, I recommend this to my clients all the time. Study other speakers. You can come on a platform like YouTube. Study speakers, look at their speeches, look at what you like and look at what you don't like. It's important to look at both because you may look at things you like and you want to emulate, but also look at the things you don't like. Do you not like the way that speaker moves around a lot? Do you not like the way they interact with the audience? That back and forth, what you like and what you don't like, it will teach you kind of the things that you want to emulate as a speaker as you develop your own style. You want to develop your own style, but studying other speakers is so powerful, such a great practice. I still do it to this day because it helps me to understand, okay, yeah, that's something I can add in, or that's something that I'm doing that I don't want to do anymore. So it's such a powerful process. The second S, first S is study, second S is stories. You want to tell your own stories. And as a beginner, the easiest place to start is look at what I call your 3 L's. Your losses, your life, and your lessons. So times when you've lost at things, people you've lost, or times you've lost or failed at things, those make great stories. Anything from your life that taught you something, that is a good story. Talk about your life. You can talk about the chronology of your life. There are so many places to go for your own stories and the lessons that you've learned from them. You can learn a lesson going out for a walk. I promise you, in the last week, there's something that has happened to you or that you've experienced that could teach you a lesson that will help others. Tell your own stories. Easiest place to start as a speaker. The next S is silence. A lot of times speakers run up on stage and they get into their speech and they're so rushed. If you just take a moment of silence before you say your first word and strategically ask yourself, are there places within my speech that I can add in a little bit more silence? Was there something big that happened in my story? A moment where you want your audience to think, and you can add in moments of silence. And one thing that speakers don't always do is at the end of their speech, have a moment of silence before they walk off stage. Allow the thoughts that you say to kind of hang in the air for a little bit. That's so powerful as a speaker. Silence is one of your speaker's favorite and best tools. Finally, simplicity. I've heard speakers try to give a 5-minute talk on the 10 best tips to achieving your goals. You're going to talk about 10 tips in 5 minutes? You're going to overwhelm your audience. You're going to overwhelm yourself. Try to keep this rule in mind. 1 main point for every 6 to 8 minutes that you speak. If you're giving a story, that's 6 to 8 minutes. Guess what? You want 1 major point. And a lot of times that may be 1 or 2 little stories, but you want it to have 1 major point. Because if you have so many points, remember this, the confused mind says no, the clear mind says go. If they are clear on the 1 point that you have for this particular story that you're telling, it will sink in much better than if you try to jam in so many points in a short amount of time. Remember, 1 point for every 6 to 8 minutes or so. That's a general rule of thumb when it comes to speaking. So if you're getting started, remember the 4 S's that we've talked about today, and I will add 1 more. The 5th S is just speak. Just get out there, speak. You're never going to become a better speaker by thinking about becoming a better speaker. The one way to become a better speaker is to speak. Get out there, let me know if this helps, and we'll talk soon.